Hey Bulldogs, let's see what's happening this week on Kobler News. Matt and Joe talk about the upcoming Super Bowl. Andrew gives an update on the status of COVID vaccinations. Lorenz covers this year's NBA season. And Vincent takes a look at the importance of hair to black culture. Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Hey Bulldogs, welcome back to Kobler News Season 3. I'm Joseph McLaughlin here with Matthew Messina, 6 feet apart.
Tomorrow, February 6th, marks 4 years since Mr. Monteith's passing. For those of you who didn't know him, he heavily impacted the direction of robotics and the science department here at Holbrook, and was a constant presence at the school. He will forever be remembered for his work and dedication to the community here. To begin today's show, we at Code Blue News would like to join everyone in a moment of silence in remembrance of Mr. Monteith.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only 7 days until February vacation.
A time for all of us to sit in our rooms staring at a computer screen, but this time not for education. I'm going to spend all my time watching highlights of the greatest Celtic to ever live, the White Mamba Brian Scalabrine.
Before we get to vacation, though, Super Bowl Sunday awaits us with yet another appearance from Tom Brady, just in a different uniform this time. This has potential to be the greatest Super Bowl yet. Take a look. This Sunday, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are battling Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the 55th Super Bowl.
This is a generational matchup. The young champ who has been making his way through the roster going up against the GOAT of the sport who has held a dynasty spanning 2 decades.
There's a good chance that when all is said and done, Mahomes and Brady will both be top 5 quarterbacks in NFL history. If Mahomes wins, it'll be the moment that he becomes an international superstar. Brady is the biggest football name just about ever, and Mahomes taking him down would immortalize him. Brady will have no choice but to shake his hand afterwards and smile. It would be the greatest torch pass in the history of sports.
Or what if Brady wins? Tom Brady left the New England Patriots, and many assumed that the evil empire was dead. He won his 6, and now he's leaving to just make more money, just like MJ. However, he defied many expectations and made the Super Bowl, defeating teams such as the Saints, Packers, and even the heroic Taylor Heineke. He has the chance to crush the best quarterback of the last 3 years and cement himself as one of the greatest sports figures of all time. There would be nothing to compare him to if he wins on Sunday.
We never got to see Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, we never got to see Bobby Orr versus Wayne Gretzky, and we never got to see Babe Ruth versus Barry Bonds, but in 2 days we're going to be able to see Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes.
This isn't going to be pretty.
But it's gonna be good.
Now time for predictions. As someone who's proud to have predicted 5 straight Super Bowls, I am predicting a win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is at the peak of his excellence, surrounded by the most weapons out of any quarterback. Travis Kelce is the perfect tight end for the Chiefs system. If he is able to play, Le'Veon Bell is going to cook any team he is up against. And I refuse to say anything good about Tyreek Hill. Many would argue that it's idiotic to bet against playoff Brady, but at this point, you could say the same about the Chiefs. Who could forget when the Chiefs beat the Texans by 20 after beginning the game 0-24? Or when they turned down the Jets in last year's Super Bowl against the 49ers, who were then thought to have one of the best defenses in the league. I can't see many scenarios where the Chiefs don't win on Sunday.
Well, I'm gonna go with my gut pick. As you said, never bet against Brady. His team may not be the best, but Brady only needs to best Mahomes in one game to be champion. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are home to Rob Gronkowski, who simply needs no introduction to New England fans. He also has a great trio of receivers in Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Scotty Miller. And I refuse to say anything good about Antonio Brown. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time that Brady has been the underdog in the Super Bowl, which is more impressive than it sounds. And for the rest, they know exactly what it takes to win. Let's not forget that the Bucs are the first team in football history to host their own Super Bowl. For better or for worse, Raymond James Stadium will have a good amount of fans, so this place will be shaking the whole night long.
And now, let's see who you guys think will win the Super Bowl on Sunday.
I think Tom Brady has it. I think I gotta go with the Buccaneers. I personally really dislike the Chiefs, so Tom Brady.
I feel like I should be voting for Tom Brady, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes obviously has much better options for rushing yards. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm thinking the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl because I just don't like Patrick Mahomes.
I think the Buccaneers will win because Tom Brady is the best quarterback.
Chiefs, because they have Tyreek Hill.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, because he's younger, better, and brighter than Tom Brady.
I think the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl because they have Tom Brady. They also have Fournette and Rob Gronkowski.
Thanks, guys. Remember to celebrate the Super Bowl responsibly this year. This has been Joseph McLaughlin.
And this is Matt Messina. Back to you in the studio. Wow, what a great segment. Those two reporters are great.
I hope those two can commentate for the actual Super Bowl one day.
Until then, here we are in Kobler News, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Moving on, congratulations to Ruby Ambrell, who received recognition in the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, presented by the School of the Museum of Fine Arts at Tufts University. This is a remarkable achievement for Ruby. Her work was recognized by a panel of creative professionals as the most outstanding work submitted among her peers.
COVID vaccinations have picked up in recent weeks throughout the country. Angela Rossi has more on the rollout.
Since early January, the COVID vaccine rollout has kicked into high gear. Just over the past week, the U.S. has averaged 1.3 million shots a day, according to Bloomberg News. Note that this is total shots, not total people fully vaccinated. With the currently available vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna, you require 2 shots weeks apart for it to be effective. In Massachusetts, about 7.7% of the population has been given at least 1 shot, with 2.2% being fully vaccinated. 55.4% of the current supply of vaccines has been used. The rollout has 3 phases outlined on mass.gov. We are currently in Phase 2, Step 1, where those that are 75 plus years old are now eligible to get vaccinated. Around mid-February, those who are 65 plus years old will be eligible as well. The rest of Phase 2 will be eligible later on going into March. Finally, those in Phase 3, which is the general public, will be able to get vaccinated starting in April. In terms of vaccination sites available, there's currently a drive-through site open at the Randolph Intergenerational Community Center that services those from Holbrook, Randolph, and Avon. Registrations are online. Health insurance info should be submitted if people have it, but it's not required. A vaccination clinic in Holbrook is also being prepared, and details should be released in the coming weeks. This has been Angela Rossi with Kobler News. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Andrew. On Wednesday, girls varsity basketball faced off against South Shore Christian Academy, winning the game 37-28. Alyssa Slamman led the team with 16 points. Holly Davis scored 7 points, and Olivia Hingston scored 8 points. Boys and girls varsity face off against South Shore Christian Academy again tonight. You can watch the game live on hcamtv.org or by going to Holbrook Cam on YouTube.
Staying on the topic of basketball, this year the NBA has been holding their season within each team's arena without fans. CBN reporter Lorenz Ward has more on the story.
You may know the NBA has been going on for a while now, with big things happening in the league, such as James Harden finally being traded away from the Rockets, leaving Victor Oladipo and John Wall back in Houston, going to play with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. That's a big 3. Then we move on to the Lakers, getting Dennis Schroeder and Marquise Harrell for the Nets. The Lakers already went on a 10-game win streak, then finally losing to the 76ers. Then we can't forget about the rookies going crazy in the league, like LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and James Wiseman, showing up crazy numbers for their team, trying to make a name in the league. James Wiseman currently led the league as the Rookie of the Year, with LaMelo Ball shortly behind. Who knows? LaMelo probably could have passed him by now. Some teams are losing star players due to injuries, such as Kevin Love from the Cavs with a right calf sprain. Warriors' Klay Thompson out for the season due to a torn Achilles. Isn't that crazy? The NBA let them already put in their votes. For y'all to go cast your vote who you want to be All-Star this year. Might as well go try. Then the listings for who's the top team and who's the worst team is out right now. We got the Jazz in first, Clippers in second, and the Lakers in third in the Western Conference. Over in the East, we got 76ers in first, Bucks in second, and then the Nets in third. That's all I have for this week. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Lorenz. Be sure to vote for Tatum Brown for the All-Star Game. Today, the celebration of Black History Month continues with Wear Your Culture Day. Whether it is celebrating Haitian Flag Day or attending a Martin Luther King Jr. Day event, Black culture is rich with art and history from all over the world, including countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Trinidad, Jamaica, and Tobago, and many more.
Furthermore, we need to challenge the narrative that wearing hair in dreadlocks or knots is messy, and instead see it as a celebration of black hair. Black hair can be styled in so many different creative ways, and there is a rich history behind each hairstyle as well. Use this day to learn from your classmates, as well as taking it as an opportunity to express yourself. Let's go to Vincent Tran, who has more on the importance of hair in brown and black culture.
Personally, hair is very important to me. I use it as a way to embrace my culture and to express myself.
I feel like when I have kids and I do my hair and I do their hair, like we use this as a connection to our roots.
Since Dominican Republic and Africa are from African descent, basically, braids is like very important to African people back in the day because they used to put rice in your hair. So you'll be able to go travel and still have food with you. So I would say hair is kind of like an important thing in like the culture and embracing it and all different types of it.
In my culture, we have many tribes and they have traditions that are tied to how someone might manipulate their hair, but they also use hair to embrace their culture and embrace their history.
I feel like some people should kind of educate themselves on like different hairstyles that they can and cannot do, especially with different types of hair, because different hairstyles aren't for the specific type of hair that people might want to do. So I feel like just for yourself, like you would want to do your research on damaging your own hair or if you're not.
I feel like cultural appropriation of hairstyles is disrespectful and definitely needs to end.
It's like you have so many other hairstyles and you choose to take things that don't belong to you. It's just annoying.
They can educate themselves of black hairstyles, and when they're asking questions, just be respectful and stay away from microaggressions.
Asking us straight up, oh hey, what's the history behind your hair, or why did, like basic questions, like we won't be offended. And they could also take time to research the hair or like take time to research before they say something in case they don't want to be embarrassed by asking.
Some challenges that I face with my hair is, since I'm mixed, I have different textures in my hair. So it's kind of hard for me to find different products to actually work for my hair. And finding different hairstyles to do and like protective hairstyles, and it takes a lot of time to kind of take care of your own hair and different things like that.
From past experience, other people are like, oh my gosh, I just want to touch your hair, or like, I just want to like, it's really weird. It's just like, I thanks for appreciating my hair, but also I'm not a dog. I'm not like an animal. You can just touch me. I'm like human.
Personally, just people always, like their first instinct is to reach for my hair or just staring at it, but you can just ask if you want to touch my hair for that consent, and ask respectfully, of course.
Like I love my hair, like I try to embrace it as much as I possibly can. I just find it as like kind of a part of me. Like if I didn't have it, like I feel like I'd be missing something, I guess.
Thanks, Vincent. The senior class is set to have its next senior privilege next week, on Thursday and Friday. Only eligible seniors will be invited to this activity. On Thursday and Friday, students will be asked to report to their first class for attendance. They will be called down to the cafeteria shortly after. Please check the 2021 Google Classroom to suggest a movie to watch.
The GSA is hosting a special informational middle school meeting on Tuesday, February 9th at 3 o'clock. Please stay posted for more information. Well, that wraps up this week's show. I'm Matthew Messina.
And I'm Joseph McLaughlin. See you next Friday.